Yes, amazing. I think we're live. Hello, everyone. My name is Daniel. I'm here with Faisal, who is going to teach us how to crush it on LinkedIn using organic methods. Faisal is running an agency, helping clients get traffic from LinkedIn, from Facebook, from Google, so many platforms, and he's so experienced in LinkedIn. And I asked him to come to this channel and provide us with some training on how do you actually do that, because in the last year Faisal was able to actually I don't know how to call it, but do some amazing things on LinkedIn. I mean, I've been following you, man. I see how much reach you get. I see how many connections you got there. So I think it's quite amazing. And I see already some people joining us. So hello, everyone. By the way, just before I skip it, before I pass it on to Faisal and we can go and crush it, I'll really appreciate it if you can help us reach more people by smashing that heart button. And tell us when you watch it, hashtag live, hashtag replay if you're watching the replay afterwards, just so we can reach more people so they can also enjoy this amazing training. So again, I think we did quite an introduction. Faisal, I'd love to pass it to you so you can start by, first of all, explaining a little bit about your background.
Sure. Thanks for the bombastic introduction, Daniel. Just a little bit about myself from my own mouth. I'm Faisal Zia Anwer. I am the founder of Brandslane Media. That's an e-commerce marketing agency, and I use LinkedIn for client acquisition since the last 1 year, roughly. I have used LinkedIn. I have done as many experimentations as I can, and I still am to build a brand there, build a personal brand, build a good network for getting traffic, have trusted leads, and obviously getting good amount of business. So that has been a very, you can say, a year-long journey. So it is a very, very easy platform to crush. Like, I started on 6th of May 2019, and it is almost like it's going to be a year next week. It's my anniversary on LinkedIn. But by July, I was able to monetize the platform. I got my first paycheck out of LinkedIn. So yeah, that is always special. So that is why I have a special place in my heart for LinkedIn. And a lot of people in this group, I guess, joined through that platform itself. So yeah, I would love to answer your questions or whatever you put down there. And yeah, so let's begin this session. So why LinkedIn? I think that is the number one question anybody in this group is going to ask. Like, whatever trainings I did when I started my own agency, it was about monetizing Facebook groups, it was about DMing people on Instagram and everything. But LinkedIn was like gold mine, which is an obvious gold mine. It's a B2B people doing business, and it was overlooked largely, and it still is. So on Facebook, I used to see so many gurus already crushing it in e-commerce, and I was like, I don't stand a freaking chance here, man. Even if I am doing Facebook ads, I know so many people who are obviously crushing it. Even though I had good results, I cannot beat them there. So on LinkedIn, I saw an empty space. I was like, here there is no FB ads guy. Here there is no agency e-commerce person. So why shouldn't I be the one? So whatever strategies you see on Facebook, people commenting on Facebook groups and building a brand, I 10x that on LinkedIn. I realized how to network with people. I realized how to attract people on LinkedIn. And that is the reason that I've been able to grow it. And I've kind of become like the go-to Facebook ads guy on that platform. Like that was bound to happen because every day I'm posting something or the other. So yeah, that has been a wonderful journey. So moral of the story: if you see an empty spot, rather than just looking at it, attack it. So it worked for me on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn has a lot of space for each and every person because every B2B marketer is out there, every company is out there, everybody is on LinkedIn who is actually wanting sales. So yeah.
I actually would love to add something to it, guys. I can vouch for myself. I mean, I've never been on LinkedIn. I mean, I had a profile there for I think a couple years now, but I actually never logged in. I never added any stuff, never posted, never connected. I mean, it was a very dull kind of account. And I think that the majority of the people on LinkedIn are just like that. I want you to understand that actually, the way I see LinkedIn, again, as someone who just started out, but did see some incredible potential in this platform, LinkedIn can be a very good gold mine for you. I mean, it depends on your who your avatar is, who your customer is. But again, if you're targeting coaches, if you're targeting big companies, CEOs, if you're targeting professionals who should be on LinkedIn, there probably are, and you can reach them quite successfully. I mean, unlike many other platforms, LinkedIn still has an amazing organic reach. I mean, I have almost no connections. I've never posted anything, and it's amazing. You can actually see the stats of each one of your posts, see how many people view it, what are their jobs are, and all of those amazing details. But I can tell you that without any connection, without anything, I was able to actually reach hundreds and hundreds of people on every post that I've done. And it's just amazing because on Facebook, for example, I mean, you can still reach that, but it will usually require you to have much more following and, be in the platforms a little bit more longer than that. And, devote your time to networking and stuff. But in LinkedIn, it's just way easier. So again, this is just my perspective on it. I know for certain that I'll devote myself on the platform the upcoming weeks, months, and years, and I'll see a lot of business from it. And I invite you to do the same. And this is exactly the reason why I brought Faisal. So a professional who has been crushing it for a year now can tell you from his experience how to do it again organically. Okay, so sorry about cutting you. I just had to share also my perspective on it. LinkedIn is amazing. I think it shows very wisely, man.
It is a fair perspective regarding the organic reach, and just wanted to add on a little bit to it, because Facebook used to have a good organic reach, but then they started the ads and all. So to reach more people, you need to use ads. So the thing about LinkedIn is it is already a paid platform. LinkedIn has a freemium model. It gives you limited number of connections, a limited number of stuff, if you are not paying them for the LinkedIn premium. But if you do, so already LinkedIn is monetizing its audience. So there is no reason to reduce on the existing reach. So that is a fair reason that even if you have like 30 to 40 connections there, you are going to reach 100 plus people. And I have like last time I checked, I had 13,000 connections, and it's still growing. And I'm very specific about the kind of people I connect with. So yeah, I'm getting good amount of reach from that. So how to crush it on LinkedIn in a couple of weeks. So that is the topic that I want to talk about. I'm very passionate about it. So I'm going to take the examples of business consultant. Would that be cool, Daniel? Should I take that example, like as a person I'm going to talk about as a business consultant? It says day one on LinkedIn. What should you do?
Sure, I think it will be amazing to address it to business consultants. But again, guys, I think that no matter what you do, as long as you're targeting professionals, so you're targeting the kind of people who are on LinkedIn, you can take this example and use it. So whatever you want, man, I think business consultant will be an amazing example because this is what probably basically this group is about.
Yeah, exactly. That's the reason I'm taking. Yeah. So number one, first of all, as Daniel already said, that first of all, set out your customer avatar. So who is the kind of person or what is the kind of business that you are looking for? What kind of businesses? Like for me, an agency guy, I am more into e-commerce. So apparel brands, FMCG, consumer durables, those kind of businesses, I want to target their founders, right? So just take a 30 days free premium LinkedIn trial. It gives you an access to almost everything. So you can write founder, you can write the like the kind of company they work in, the company size, whatever you want. Like if you're a business consultant and you are just starting out, maybe the kind of businesses you can consult has a maximum headcount of 50 people. You can target that. You can find those people on LinkedIn. Just type it. You're going to get a huge ass list, and you can start connecting with each and every of those people. Suppose you send out 200 requests or 100 requests a day, and 25%, like 25 of them can connect it. You do that for a month, you have enough amount of connections to the people who are the decision makers of the kind of business you want to deal with. It just makes logical sense, right? And like a lot of people from Facebook who, like just like Daniel connected with me, a lot of people have been asking me about like I'm not able to crack LinkedIn. And nobody replies. It's because LinkedIn has a longer sales cycle. It is not like Facebook that you shoot out an offer and the person gets just converts. LinkedIn is a little bit of longer game. It is more formal in nature as compared to Facebook, because everybody on Facebook is now kind of not for business. They are having fun plus hustling. On LinkedIn, it's on work. They are working there. They are HR professionals. They are founders who are actually doing business, B2B stuff, right? So you need to start building a relationship. by using content. So once people come in your funnel, that is like a basic funnel, the top of the funnel, people are connected with you. They know that you exist. Start putting out content on the daily. What kind of content? Now for Facebook groups, it is like usually the kind of content you put out on Facebook group is very specific in nature about metrics. So for me, I will talk very, very techy about Facebook ads. But if I'm posting the similar thing on LinkedIn, I'm going to be very broad, because the kind of people there are not looking for Facebook ads or anything in specific. They are looking for ROI. They're not looking for what you are an expert in. They are looking for how much money you can make them and how much easier you can make their entire business process. That's all they're looking for, right? So make your content in that way. Like, I can give you a couple of content hacks. You can shoot me a DM on LinkedIn. You can follow me on LinkedIn if you want to. I'm putting out content on the daily. Just type Faisal Zia Anwer. I am the first one there. I'm the only one with that name. So that's the reason I put out a unique name. But yeah, so you start doing that daily on a consistent basis. It's going to, help you build a brand. Firstly, a brand tonality of the, like, if every day you are posting something related to your work, like, I'm a business consultant, this is how I help my previous client, this is how I can make your process better and stuff, and the people who are listening to you are the right connections, you're going to build a brand eventually, and you're going to start getting business in less than a month. I've done that. I've seen that happen before with me. So yeah, that's how it works. A very simple process. No tough stuff.
Actually, I want to address something, because I see a lot of people, especially when they try to use another platform that is new to them. I can take the same example myself. I just, started on LinkedIn not long ago. And there's the problem when people need to actually post something, when they need to create content. And what they usually try to do is just take what works on other platforms and just, reshare it. So for example, you had a very successful post on Facebook, so you're just copying the post, go to LinkedIn, and sometimes it does not work as well. So there needs to be some kind of adjustments. I would also appreciate if we can maybe talk about using hashtags, because I know that, unlike Facebook, hashtags have a great importance in LinkedIn. So you do need to adjust your content a little bit. I'm sure that Faisal will have a ton to talk about this. And research a hashtag will also be a great thing. I know that I was told that you shouldn't use more than like 4 or 5 hashtags, like unlike Instagram when I use like 30 or 25 or something. So these are all important things that, guys, you should know about. And yeah, this is just a question that I think a lot of people will have. So I'd love it if you can address it.
Yeah, so content repurposing anyhow does not like content repurposing is a different thing, and then copying the content and pasting is a different thing. So as I said, on LinkedIn, your content needs to be ROI centric. So suppose you are writing, so I do not have much of an idea of what business consultants write about. So please help contextualize what I'm saying. So my work is running ads, right? I run ads for my ecom clients and I get them results. So if I'm posting something on Facebook group, my heading is going to be like, I got like 200% ROAS, or I got 28% CTR, or something techie, right? Because the kind of people on Facebook are very much into Facebook ads. They know their shit about Facebook ads, right? Those are the kind of people I'm connected with, right? If I am talking in general terms on Facebook, people are going to crush me and they're going to call me a noob. Okay, I don't want to be called a noob, right? But if I do the same thing on LinkedIn, I've seen a lot of people do this. They go all techie. People don't care about that. On LinkedIn, it is more about the story you tell. So my headline for the same problem needs to be, how did I help my client twice their traffic in half the time? I am removing all the tech. I'm removing all the jargons. I'm removing all the professional nuance of a media buyer, and just making it simple, turning it into a simple story to follow, because the CEO might not know what CTR stands for, but he knows what doubling the traffic stands for. You have to be ROI centric, as I said, on LinkedIn. You cannot be extremely techy. I've seen a lot of people do it. They have amazing results. Like, they are crushing it with results, but they are not getting even half of the likes or half of the engagement that I am on a lesser result. So that is an actual fact, and it actually works. And Daniel, I would suggest that you also try this out. So that would be my single advice. And when it comes to hashtags, I have one branded hashtag, that is hashtag Faisal Zia, which is my name. And apart from that, I usually do hashtag business, hashtag social media, hashtag digital marketing, very general stuff. You don't need to focus much on hashtags. Sometimes you go trending in in a specific hashtag, which is always a delight to look at. But content repurposing in an ROI-centric fashion actually helps. How are you helping a business CEO who doesn't have all that much time for it, who has no time for listening to all your tech bullshit? He just wants to know how you're going to help him make a content in that context. But yeah, a little bit technique, a little bit in a central few paragraphs, you need to write a little bit, business-oriented detailed stuff. But you can say 70% of the copy needs to be very plain and story-centric. Makes sense?
So, yeah, it does. And I think you mentioned a lot of great things. So I also want to give you one tip, guys. No matter what platform you're now using, again, if it's LinkedIn, if it's Twitter, if it's Facebook, Instagram, there will be some sort of testing phase in there as well. Because, yeah, we can tell you from our experience, these kind of posts work the best, but chances are that it wouldn't work for you the same as it works for us. You don't have the same networking, you don't have the same, profile age and things, and it can work extremely the opposite way. So there will be some testing necessary in here. You'll need to, create your content, see how it goes, see what kind of post goes better than some, and you'll just adjust to it and, create your own kind of message and your own kind of style post as soon as you'll progress and understand what kind of post really gets the traffic and engagement that you want. And also important tip, again, no matter platform you're in, you need to understand who you're talking to, because just as Faisal said, you might, say some things about CDR and about, some professional terms, about KPIs, about all of these terminology that sometimes the person that you're actually targeting, without knowing that, have no clue what you're talking about. So I see this mistake happens a lot of time. People don't know who they actually target and don't use the language and don't talk about the stuff that their target audience will be interested in. So again, they sometimes miss completely by a long shot their target audience because they didn't do this research. So they thought an SEO would be interested in knowing how to tweak their ads, but actually the CEOs don't do their own ads. They have agencies for that. Yeah. They have people who work for them that does that. So by just mentioning this word CDR, you completely miss this person because he'll not Google it and now try to understand what it is. So you need to adjust your word, adjust your terminology, and know who you speak to. And as for hashtags, I can give you from my own experience a tip. Sometimes you put a hashtag and you see LinkedIn auto completes you and suggesting different hashtags. Check how many posts and activity there is on every hashtag, because I can tell from my experience that sometimes I've used hashtags that was seen to me as great ones. I mean, it's general. It must be having a lot of traffic, but when I checked it, it was unlike anything else I've seen. These were hashtags very new, no activity, nothing was there. So I would just go use another tab, research this hashtag for a moment, see how much activity, how many posts, and see that there's actual eyeballs on it before actually using it. And yeah, staying to the 4 to 5, this is what I do. And Faisal will tell me if he does otherwise. But I think you are doing the same as you mentioned, something you hashtag business, hashtag, the kind of general things your audience likes. And yeah, guys, I'd love to get it back to you.
No, that's exactly what I do. I look at the activity, what the size of the hashtag is. It has like 20, a million people are following it and all. So that's a pretty good hashtag to trend in, or at least, put in your caption and all. So yeah, that's usually the process that I follow. Kind of like just the way you do Instagram, but they are the number of hashtags are much more. So yeah, cool. So any kind of questions that are coming in?
Well, let's see on the chat if there's something. Let me just check it real quick.
Yep.
Okay, so there's a bunch of comments. People are saying hashtag live. I love you guys. This is really helping the live to get to more people. So hashtag live, hashtag replay. All those comments are really boosting it and helping us reach more. You have a fan here saying that he started his LinkedIn journey because of you. So this is amazing. Showing that. I'm sorry.
What's his name? Dhruv. Is his name Dhruv?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
he mentioned.
I know my audience. I
Uh,
literally know my audience.
okay, this is an interesting question. Let
Please
me.
do.
Well, this is a new software, so I think I can actually show it. So here,
Sure, please.
can you read it?
What's your take on the delete and repost the same post for more traction and engagement tactic? That's Akshat, I guess. Oh, that's a friend of mine. Hi, Akshat. Howdy. So yeah, sometimes it does work because there are times like if you post a good content, like sometimes when you write something, you have an inner feeling that yeah, this is gonna do well, and you post it, and it did not. As you are sure, like on Instagram, also the initial moments of any content matters a lot, right? So that is why posting time is a real thing. So sometimes it has happened to me as well that I posted a good content at a bad time. Like I was impatient or something. I should have posted at 11 a.m. I posted it at 7 a.m. because I just wanted to get it out there, and that is why the traction, it did not get well. So I once experimented with it, so I deleted it in a couple of hours when it did not get good traction as per my historic tractions, and then I posted it again, and then it performed pretty well. So yeah, it does work, but because there are so many, but only I do this if a lot of people have not seen it, like 1,000 or 2,000 people have seen it, I delete it. But if like 5, 6, 10,000 people have seen it and still not getting good traction or good engagement there, then I let it be. It's okay to lose some.
I think that well, I can tell you what I do on my Instagram and other platforms. Again, LinkedIn, I didn't have the chance to repost the same kind of post because I'm fairly new to the platform. But basically, reposting can sometimes be a great idea. I can tell you that sometimes I took, and this is actually something that I probably will do more of. I'm taking posts that I've done a long time ago, like a month or 2 months, that were extremely viral at the time, and I'm sometimes reposting them. What I do is usually, again, wait this specific time to make sure that my audience either forgot about this, or again, I have a
Yeah.
new following by then. I have a lot of more people that are now watching me and seeing my stuff. So I do use it because it's a great way. I usually use it on really
Yep.
posts that I believe in, either that prove to work, or again, maybe posts. I can tell you from exactly what you said. I had posts that I worked so hard on, and sometimes I just was too excited, I guess, because I worked so hard. So I published them in the worst hour possible, and they got
Exactly.
so bad, such a bad result. So I was furious. And yeah, sometimes I forgot, I deleted that. And usually I do wait a couple of days before I launch it again. But yeah, it can be a cool way.
Yeah.
And what I would be careful of is sharing it too many times, because I've seen really great people, amazing channels, millions of followers that started using this and became lazy and started resharing the same piece of content so many times. And you can see the comments. People are angry. They losing traction, they losing engagement, and people saying, "Dude, I saw this like 20 times." And yeah, it can make you lazy. So I would just, again, as long as you're doing it smart, like not too many shares of the same post, I would definitely consider doing that as well. And yeah, we have a question from Drew, the guy you mentioned earlier. So let me just show it to
Please.
you. Do you use any
Do
automation?
you- I will not publicly say anything about that. If I am or if I am not. Automations are pretty interesting. I'm definitely testing some stuff out on on another profile that I am. I have started another profile of, just to just test some stuff out. To be very honest, yeah, I am testing automations, but not on my main profile. No, I can't risk that because LinkedIn does not like you doing that, and it can ban you for life. Once you're banned on LinkedIn, there's no way to get your profile back. So I'm being very safe about it, using a VPN, using another server and everything. But yeah, another profile entirely just for automation and testing stuff out because I am bored, got to do something, right? So yeah, I am testing some amount of automations.
I can tell you guys that I've heard a lot about automation, and it's kind of a risky game from what I've heard. And then most people who do use it usually have some softwares that are like under the radar. This is what I heard. I know that I actually spoke to someone that I cannot remember the name, but he was promoting his own like secret under the radar kind of automation tool that supposedly LinkedIn cannot detect. And by the way, if you are interested about knowing what kind of automation we are referring to, I think that you mentioning automations for outreach, like emailing guys, like getting info, scraping info, and all of that. So again, this is what I heard. It's kind of risky game. I think Faisal here agrees with me.
It definitely is risky. Like you can take a couple of precautions. One of the best ones out there, which is like the safest one as per my knowledge, and that is the reason it's pretty expensive compared to others, is Orca. That's Orca. You can do a Google search. Their main website has been banned by LinkedIn, so they are now just a Chrome extension. Their main website has been banned by LinkedIn itself. So yeah, they do that. So Orca is pretty safe. Comparatively, it's $69 a month. Then there's this very huge, there's that Phantom Buster. It's pretty popular in the market right now. I think, Daniel, you should check it out definitely. Like Phantom Buster is doing pretty well in the market when it comes to automation. It can literally do anything for any platform. All platforms. Okay. It can work not only on LinkedIn, but Instagram, Facebook, even Medium. So that's pretty rad. Okay. So yeah.
Glad that we were able to address that. Well, there's that. Well, here's a kind of long question, so let's read it together. Do apps like Buffer and Hootsuite reduce engagement, or do they act the same as a post in the middle in real time on LinkedIn? I saw that all tweets published on Twitter via Hootsuite perform not as good as tweets done on Twitter app in real time. Is it similar to LinkedIn? Well, I'd love to give my own example from Instagram. I've been, and later, if you can do it on LinkedIn, it will be awesome. On Instagram, I know that from day one, when I first started, there were all of these gurus. I mean, I took coaching, one-on-one coaching, 2 courses. I read about it on forums. And usually the opinion that people has is that those kind of tools can limit your reach. And usually the people that I were teaching this stuff from recommended me not to use it at first and to do it only when I scale, because there is a time that it becomes too difficult to do it manually. But basically, I'm using a software called Later for my Instagram. I don't know if they have a connection. Yeah. They have a connection to LinkedIn?
Later? No, Later doesn't connect to LinkedIn.
Okay. So basically, I use Later for my Instagram. And what I did for many months is that I did a semi-automation, which was I got a notification on my phone, and with 2 clicks, I was able to post something. And later I went and did the full automation. And I can tell you from my own experience, my own profile, I did not actually see any kind of decrease in the reach when I started using automation. But again, this is the opinion that people has. No, I think real studies and proof has been made on this. But basically, if you can do it manually, it will be better, at least when you're first starting out, because all these platforms less prefer bots and bots kind of behavior. And those full automation of posting seems like a botic behavior. So this is as for Instagram. I'd love to hear your opinion on LinkedIn.
It is almost the same, actually. So if you're starting out on day one, try doing it all manually, because of a very simple reason that the initial traction on any post, it is what determines if it's going to go further or not, right? So if a couple of comments come in and you have automated the entire thing, you are not going to reply to those comments anyhow, right? So the thing is that if you're starting out initially, just do it manually, it does not decrease the reach or increase the reach, because I know of a couple of gurus or people who I look up to who have millions of reach in every post. They use Buffer for putting out their content every week. Like I have talked to them personally about this, and they have told me like they use Buffer and all, or Hootsuite. So yeah, it doesn't really reduce your reach, but I would suggest just to get a hang of the platforms, keep doing it manually, because getting a hang of the platform is very, very important. Like what I used to do, to be very honest, as soon as I put out any kind of content, I used to go to each and every content on the feed and start engaging on them with meaningful comments. So there are a lot of people who are regulars on LinkedIn, like creators, you can say, on LinkedIn. Like 1% of people on LinkedIn are posting consistently, only 1%. So not a huge number, so you can very easily, see them in your feed and start engaging, and you usually can expect that engagement back on your main profile, usually. So this is what I did. As soon as I posted, I engaged with the top 5 to 10 posts that came on my feed, and I started seeing a boost in my engagement. And had I been using an automation, I'm pretty sure I would not have done that. I would not have even known that my post has been posted if I'm using an automation rather than even engaging with other people. So on LinkedIn, on any platform, actually, I think even Gary Vaynerchuk says that you have to give before you ask. So give engagement, and then you can ask for it. Find the CEOs in your niche and give as much engagement as you can. And then you can expect after maybe a 2-day period or 1-month period, you are going to get some amount of engagement on your main profile or any of your content.
Well, I think what we mentioned is very important, guys. Again, on any platform, I can tell you that I see it on Facebook all the time. When you engage with people, Facebook or the platform that you're publishing in sees you as a more engaged type of user, and they prefer you over other users on the platforms. More than that, actually, whenever you engage with someone, he sees a notification, he sees your profile picture, he gets to know you, and he also later on, when he sees your post, he's more likely to engage as well, because they have this feeling that they need to reciprocate. Okay, they got something from you, so automatically in their brain they are way more have a higher chance of engaging with your own content because they remember you. And when you start doing this over and over again, they get to know you and they remember who you are. They remember your picture. And again, they just become more engaged with your own content, okay? As long as it's relevant for them, at least. So make sure to engage with people who, basically are your target audience or talk about similar things and so on. And other question that I see here, well, I'd also love to contribute here as well. He asked, how do you find relevant content and post on LinkedIn? So I'll take a long shot and I'll say, because I know that a lot of people do use those strategies. I can tell you that no matter what platform I'm in, I'm first doing some research on other platforms, profiles that crush it. So for example, I can now research the heck out of Faisal because I know he crushes it on LinkedIn. And I'll just, use those kind of profiles to study what kind of post goes the best. So study people in your niche and see what they post about. What do you think?
My first advice, I do consultations on LinkedIn. I do paid consultations on LinkedIn. And this is the question that usually comes out. How do I create content every day? What kind of content I should create? And the only thing I tell them is that go to my profile, go on the activity tab and see what all I have posted in the last 6 months. And you are done. Your LinkedIn, all of it is cracked. That's all you have to do. If you can find a pattern in that, then you will be able to deconstruct what a person is doing. That's about it.
Guys, by the way, tip that is not specifically on LinkedIn, but and I can see the other question that will come up in a moment, and it will also help you. Use tools. Well, I don't know if you're aware of UberSuggest, for example, but UberSuggest is a very cool tool that is completely free, and you can actually use it. I'll write it here in the chat. UberSuggest. It is by. I'm sorry, did not write it correctly.
Neil Patel. It's by Neil Patel, right?
Yeah, Neil Patel. And this tool allows you to actually see hot topics that has been shared on different platforms like Facebook, like Pinterest and stuff. And you can basically find the best or the most reshared type of contents. Again, it's not specifically for LinkedIn, but if you'll be smart and you'll use the specific keywords, yes, the specific keywords that has to do with your audience, you'll be able to see the headlines and the articles and the blog posts and everything that has been shared so much, and you'll be able to get an idea what kind of content not just gets likes and comments, but being reshared, which is, I think, the ultimate goal, okay, for virality.
So a couple of advice, Manish, on this. First of all, the number one that got me a good amount of personal branding was that LinkedIn is infamous for not having videos. A lot of people do not put any kind of videos as compared to Facebook and Instagram because it's a B2B serious platform. So I started doing videos, and that kind of grew like wildfire. I was doing one video every day on LinkedIn, and to a point that people came to my profile and said that, this is getting too much, this is getting too out of hand. But that was a good kickback for me. So initially I was doing a lot of videos. Now I'm doing like once a week or twice a week, tops. So yeah, videos actually helped me grow a lot. Second, social proof. Social proof as in people should have an you shouldn't be the one that's saying that you are an expert. Other people should. So I have never written on my profile Faisal Zia online marketing ecom expert. I've never written it. People have called me that. I've never literally written it. And the reason for that is I'm always sharing stats or graphs of my clients' work, or how much revenue I'm making by clients and stuff like that. That is very specific to my work. But I'm giving a social proof out there that I know my shit. And that is like 20% of my content only needs to be result oriented. And the rest of it can be normal content of me talking about life in general, talking about entrepreneurship, hustle goals, what I do every day, how to run a business, how not to run a business, what fuck ups I did initially, and what I am doing right now. All the be human, be as much open to criticism, and be a person. Like portray yourself as an expert in your niche, but still as a person. It really helps people connect with you.
Mm-hmm. I think you mentioned something like it was an incredible tip, and I want to recap on that because maybe some people did not fully get how much this can benefit you guys. You can post all day on LinkedIn on any other platform, but if people wouldn't know who you are and why should they care and listen, you'll not get the engagement that you're looking for. So a great tip that Faisal just mentioned is to actually provide some kind of a social proof, because social proof is the kind of thing that makes people respect you and weight your advices a little bit more. So you can write a guide on how to increase conversion rates, but people can, for example, if I posted it, so people can come and say, who the hell is this Daniel and why should I learn from him? I mean, I know how to optimize conversions. What did he do that, I don't know, shows his expertise? I mean, why should I care? So you don't actually need to like brag about yourself, because I know that this is a lot of people are shy and don't want to post these kind of things. So you can actually do it very subtly. And I think Faisal has been crushing it as well. Sharing your wins, sharing your story from clients, sharing their successes, sharing people that you've touched and helped, doing those kind of things, doing case studies, for example, how I was able to scale a 6-figure business, or I don't know, a personal trainer to over 7 figures in sales in 6 months. This kind of posts can really vouch for your expertise, knowledge, and understanding. And when someone reads it, it doesn't just get value from reading it. It also gets to know a little bit about your background, a little bit about you and what your expertise and knowledge is. And when he sees another post from you, he'll already be familiar with you and, again, trust you a little bit more. So social proof is an incredible tool that you should definitely use. And I think it's great that you mentioned that. I also see... do you have time for more questions, by the way?
Sure. I'm free.
Okay, amazing.
There are, let's touch them today.
There's a lot of people that are engaged here, and I'd love to answer all of your questions, guys. Okay, this is actually funny because she refers to e-commerce. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you know. Well, you know everyone, man. Half this group is your people. So I think it's kind of funny because you might not know this about me, but I'm also been in e-commerce for a very long time. So I actually love to hear your opinion on it. I mean, again, I don't expect you to give like the kind of post that she does, but again, I think, well, you know what, actually it basically everything that we have discussed to do the research, if you can just give it one quick tip and we can go on, I'll appreciate it.
Sure. A very quick tip, not just to you, Akansha, but to any kind of content writer out there. What any business is looking for is, there are 2 things. Number 1 is ROI. The number 2 is process automation. When it comes to content writing, at least, or any kind of marketing, ROI, process automation. So when you are doing content, when you are talking about being a content writer, so you need to specify that, number 1, what kind of traffic your content was able to generate. And if you want proof, just go to similar pages, type that URL, you are going to see what kind of traction your page got. Take that screenshot, put it down there, right? Second, process automation, how quickly you are able to onboard clients and start a process. Simple as that. And how quick you make the entire process. Go to the core most insecurities as a business has when it comes to you, right? Content writers are looking for damn good, like businesses are looking for content writers who are good at writing, sure, but how quickly can they get it done? That's all they want to know. So there are a lot of things that come in when it comes to process automation. There's turnaround time, there is quality of work, there's you can say charging, how you charge, what kind of models, what kind of financing you have, and all of that. So address those issues in part of your content, plus show how good your skill set in writing is. That's it. That's
I can throw in another tip, by the way. I would use, again, you're already on Facebook, so I would just search for groups that are talking about your niche, which is e-commerce, and seeing what kind of post goes the best inside this group. What kind of post get the most engagement? Again, be specific and not too general. So if, for example, you'll go to a ClickFunnels group, you'll see a bunch of stuff talking about e-commerce, but you might not get the same amount of value if you'll go to a specifically group about e-commerce. There, the audience as well as are for e-commerce. And if the post really goes viral, it means that your audience is actually interested in this. So using group is also incredible. By the way, I want to refer to it very simply, very quick, and say, are you using, because I know that I'll be interested in, are you using groups in LinkedIn? Because this is something that I actually never experienced with.
No. Facebook, LinkedIn groups, unlike Facebook groups, are literally dead. Nobody even knows what groups they are part of. So no, groups is not a good idea. But a very cool thing, if you do not have the money and you are to start with a LinkedIn Premium or something, and you have the time and you are there to hustle, like Gary Vee says, like hustle, like not on Instagram hustling, but on actual B2B platform. I actually got a lead out of this. I went to groups and I checked out all the members, and it had like 1 million something members, I think. And I saw all the people in an alphabetical order who are, who I should be connected to. So when you have a free account, when you search, you do not get that many people. But when you go to a group, check out the members. So I go to an e-commerce founders group and I check out the members. They're all e-commerce founders. I just DM'd them whichever one of them were in Delhi. I DM'd them and I got a meeting. And I was not able to convert it. It was my first attempt, but that was a very cool way that I hacked this little system, and I gone deeper into it, so I was making enough money to pay for the LinkedIn Premium and stuff. But this is one way that you can. So this is how you need to think. There is a gold mine of B2B out there, be it groups, be it Sales Navigator. I'm going to talk about that as well a little bit. But LinkedIn Premium, normal LinkedIn, just go into your comment section. Other people's comment section has helped me get customers, man. Like literally.
Well, it's funny what you say, because I was told exactly the same. Groups are dead on LinkedIn. This is what I was told. I spoke to someone who's been for years on LinkedIn, and I asked him about groups, and he was, I don't know, I've never used those. They're just too spammy. So it's quite funny. Yeah. So let's see other questions. Well, I cannot give my own opinion on it. I don't know if this is a question that you can answer, because I'm getting I'm not knowledgeable about it enough. Is it like a too tough question to answer in the live?
How do you get your leads from LinkedIn, mainly inbound or outbound? I can give a very brief answer. Like inbound is something that you have to build a brand that you are going to start getting inbound. So as I told you in our chat today, Daniel, that I was on a call with 2 guys from Russia. Yeah. And that was an inbound lead, and they are running like $5,000 e-com ads every single day, not months, like every day are running $5,000 ads. So that is the level of inbound that you can get if you start, putting out content on the daily. It happened right. I was sitting right here, and these guys were angry Russian guys. So if you want inbound, you have to put out content. Outbound has different strategies. You need to make sure your profile is strong enough to make sure that when you reach out to a person like Bill Gates is not active on LinkedIn, but if Bill Gates is going to send you a message, Daniel, that I want to meet you, you're going to just be there, right? So that's how strong your profile needs to be for an outbound. So you have to work on it. It's hard work, but inbound comes first or outbound. Inbound always comes first. So inbound is actually an indication of your personal branding. If you are getting inbound leads, which I am, it says that your personal branding on LinkedIn is cool. It works the same on any platform, be it LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook. The inbound says a lot about your personal brand.
I can tell you from my own experience that on LinkedIn, just as Faisal said, people are already coming to do business. It's not like Facebook that they come to, I don't know, get themselves entertained, and business, I don't know, becomes a side hustle in this platform.
Yep.
When you reach someone out, I can tell you that I reached a couple, I don't know, maybe 100 people so far. So when you reach out with a good offer, with a business offer, the chances of you getting a reply is very, very high. People are super responsive there. Again, as long as you can make it, because just like on Facebook, I wouldn't recommend that as well. Don't just write hi or try to, I don't know, come to someone who is already, again, in this platform to do business and waste his time. As long as you can make it relevant for him and he understands why you are approaching and or how it's, again, both relevant and helpful and beneficial for him, then you can expect a response. And this is a great platform because I can tell you that I met so many interesting people out of that. Because again, they were just super responsive and super willing to do any kind of collab and business opportunity, because this is what the reason that they're inside this
That is the
platform.
reason of the platform. Exactly. That's the reason of the platform.
Well, this is a funny question. 1 second. This is for me. It's not about LinkedIn, but yeah, this is a blue light kind of glasses. Super cool, huh? I don't know if Steve Jobs were wearing that. But yeah, thanks, dude. Okay, this is an interesting one. Which platform works best for Faisal, Facebook or LinkedIn to pull clients? Interesting.
80% of my clientele is through LinkedIn, and just 20%, like it used to be the opposite. But when I started banking on, because those were my initial days when I was just hustling on LinkedIn, Facebook. And then I repivoted my entire strategy on LinkedIn, and it worked for me. It worked very well. And then I started, engaging on both platforms. So it'll be like a majority of my clientele and my calls and everything is through LinkedIn itself.
Okay. Amazing. I was actually, I was thinking the same. I was betting that your most of your leads are coming from LinkedIn. I just see
whichever platform you are active on. Like if I'm active on Instagram, I'll get more leads on Instagram. It entirely depends where you are putting your stuff up. So
obviously, and your customers. I mean, I think that majority of your customers are Facebook, LinkedIn. But though Instagram can also be a great platform. I don't know. But it also comes down again to knowing where your clients are, being active on. For example, TikTok might not work. I don't know. TikTok currently works for everyone, but maybe TikTok, for example, isn't the best choice, or Snapchat and stuff. You should know where your target audience is.
Yeah, like a lot of e-commerce businesses are booming on TikTok. Like if the product has that, childish flair to it, or it is a showing off kind of a product. Like there is an influence on LinkedIn itself. Her name is Mayan Gordon. And she's killing it on TikTok, and she's positioned herself on LinkedIn as an entrepreneur, killing it on TikTok. So that's pretty awesome. So on LinkedIn, like I have positioned myself as a guy killing it in Facebook ads. She has positioned herself on an entirely different platform. So go figure.
It's one of my dreams to go on TikTok. I just see how it's booming for everyone, and I'm just, so angry that I don't go in already. I even took a course, but I didn't watch it. Are you on TikTok? Are you personally on TikTok?
Yes, yeah, not much, but yeah, a little bit. I have fun
I'll
there.
give you a follow. I'd love to start it for my brand. Again, just let me know whenever you want to stop, because I see questions coming up, and I'd love to answer all of them. But again, I also okay. So I'll just keep
whatever questions you do want to go on. Like I'm up for as long as you want for that, man. No problem. I love to solve this problem for people.
Amazing. So let's see the other question here. Okay, let's read it together. You do ads. You can show graph as a proof. I'm a writer, so can you suggest how to show social proof ideas, please? Well, social proof, I think, well, I can give you a quick tip. If your customer, for example, do a post about you, you can take a screenshot of this post again and just show it. I mean, this client vouch for myself, or tag him, or stuff, or just
testimonials, basically, right? Testimonials, basically.
Yeah, testimonials, feedbacks, or a client shares his graph, so you can take a screenshot out of it. Or you can, if you're a writer, which is you can tell the story of how you helped someone else, like reverse engineering, doing a total case study of how you managed to, I don't know, collab with some companies, help them scale, for example. What do you think?
Like I think you can actually go have a backend access. You can see what traffic you generated on the link on your post as compared to a post which was done by another writer or last week. if you can see the graph spike because of your content, you can say this is me. You don't have to type the name of the client or anything, keep that all secret, but you can say that this spike was because of my content, and like this much percent was through social, this much percent was through organic was me. You can do that. Like if you keep it number centric, people are going to come to you. People get attracted to graphs for some reason. People get attracted to graphs like hell. It really helps. So
Well,
think
it's
about it.
visual, it's easy to digest, I think. It's also like proving, I mean, if you write, you can do everything. I mean, it's also true for graphs. You can do Photoshop on everything, but basically it's more believable, I guess, and easier to digest.
Exactly.
So yeah, this is a perfect example. I'd like to stop the questions for just one moment. We have two more, I see. And I think that a lot of people here are actually never been on LinkedIn, or again, never really did something. So I think it would be a great idea to actually give some practical tips on how to start. So for example, they open their account. I know that one thing that we didn't discuss, I think, was profile optimization and how important it is.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear your opinion on it, because again, if a user just open a profile, what will be the practical step that you'll give him?
Sure. First of all, your profile picture, it needs to be super professional. No Facebook, no showing your muscles and showing yourself with the chicks and all. Keep it very professional. As normal headshot. That's good. It's not like you should be like top to bottom. Just the face would do. Your face should show, right? It should be like an identity photo on your passport and stuff, right? So that's tip number one. The second would be the header image that is right behind your profile. So it should usually show what you do, or something about your company. So for me, it is written like Brands Lane. We help challenger brands grow. That is what is written, because that's what we do. You can write about yourself, like you are a hustler, or you can write about if you are an entrepreneur, you can write about entrepreneur, business consultant, speaker. This is something you can write in a very cool fashion. You can look at other profiles, look at other good profiles, not shitty ones, good profiles, how they are doing it, and contextualize it for yourself. Then comes the about section, where you just have to tell about your story, right? The about section. So I have told my entire story. Hi there, I'm Faisal Zia. This is what I do. This is what I've done. These are a couple of my accomplishments. These are the clients I've helped grow. And this is what I plan to do. This is all that I've written. I have added a couple of words for SEO purposes. And then there is the headline, which is literally the most important thing. A headline is what captures the people. So I have simply written that I help brands grow their, like e-commerce brands grow their revenue, because that's what I do. If you are a data scientist, just write data scientist, Python, this company. Simple. If you're a marketing manager and a speaker, write marketing manager at XYZ company / this line, and public speakers line, entrepreneur, career counselor. Whatever you do, just put it out there so that people, when they look at your profile, they know this is what that person does, and they connect with you. Simple as that. So all these things, when they come together, and from an SEO perspective, when you see it, think of it, or you can just Google LinkedIn SEO. You will get a way better idea than this, and very easily you can see that what you can improve on your. Suppose you want to rank for a term, like I'll share a poly of mine. I want to rank for terms like digital marketing and e-commerce. And after checking my profile, I know I rank for terms that are founders and co-founders. I rank very high for that. But I do not rank high for e-commerce or digital marketing. So I have to change a little bit of my own about section. And that's a hit and trial thing you have to keep doing. You have to keep trying new stuff until you get a result. So yeah, Google LinkedIn SEO, you'll get a good answer.
I think it's super important, guys, to understand this, because again, your summary or your about is it can be used to really get higher search results. I mean, it can be used to focus on your keywords, what you want to try and rank for, and use it in your text. I think that a lot of people also miss the kind of endorsement kind of skills that you have on there. What are your suggestions in that? I see people like going all over the stuff, like doing tens of skills. Do you think it's a smart idea to? Because I think
there is a limit of 50 skills. So if you have a leeway of that kind, just put in as many relevant skills that you can. Like I have put down stuff like business development and forecasting projections, because that is a part of my job, right? I talk to businesses, so I'm into business development. I help e-commerce brand grow, so I'm into social media. I'm into a ton of stuff. So as much as you can broaden it up, because then you are going to rank for more. So putting up those skills is important, and then getting endorsements for them is also important. So it takes time. I have never publicly gone to people and asked for endorsement. People just came and gave their endorsements and all because I have good traffic. So that always helped me. But yeah, if you want to ask for endorsement, just go ahead and first give it to people, and then they are going to do the same for you, because it doesn't take much of your time. But the more important thing is for you to get recommendations from on LinkedIn. Like, there's a section of recommendation, how many people recommend you. So I have personally recommended 8 people myself, and 22 people have recommended me. I use my Instagram following for that. I diverted traffic to my LinkedIn, and I got them to write stuff and all, and Facebook as well. So yeah, so people who know me, who have seen my services and believe my services and know that I am good enough, they just wrote a good stuff about the kind of stuff that I do. So you can use that strategy. You can use, if you have a good Insta following, just I'll tell you what I did. I posted a black image and I said, guys, I need your help. I knew people are going to come ask me, what can I do? And then I sent them, can you recommend me? And they did, because they trusted my service. They knew me for over a year now. They know that I know my shit. So yeah, that's about it. That's how I got all my recommendations.
Yeah, that's amazing. Your recommendations can really come in handy, guys, because there are so many. I think that there is some fear on LinkedIn that some accounts are fake. I mean, I see this happening. So all of those kind of, again, these are kind of things that help your social proof. Testimonials, endorsement. Again, endorsement are like this. People just click on a skill that they want to endorse you for, and you get an endorsement. And all of those things, including your connection, the amount of connections that you have, people really focus on that because it shows right at the beginning, near your hook, near your, headline, and people see. I mean, this Daniel dude that only has 100 connection, it doesn't seem that trustworthy, let's call it. So you want to get to the 500 plus. After 500, it just says 500 plus, and this is already very much, it makes people trust you and see that you're not just a typical user. You're one that is engaging, that has been a long time on LinkedIn and stuff. So yeah, they'll also take your messages, outreach and stuff more seriously. So this is a great tip, and I think a lot of people should. Well, the first thing I know that before I even started to reach people, the main thing I focused on was optimizing my profile, because there's a lot to do. Okay, you want to do the all-star. I think they call it all-star, something like that. That you have completed. Yeah, you completed all the missions for optimizing your profile. And yeah, so let's say that you finish with this, you optimize your profile, you have the headline, the story, the everything, you're set to go. So basically, I mean, you have 0 connections, nothing. What would be your next step? I mean, let's say that you started from scratch now.
Yeah. So so first of all, I'm going to start off by connecting with a couple of friends who I actually know. So as soon as I send them a connection, so LinkedIn is connected to your phone, and LinkedIn knows what kind of friends you have who are there in your network on LinkedIn. So obviously, it's going to connect with some people that you know. So there are three types of people on LinkedIn. There are first degree connections, so people you are directly connected to. Second degree connections, people you are not connected to, but your connections are. So if I'm connected to Daniel, you, somebody who does not know me yet and just seen me, you are a second degree connection because you are connected to Daniel as well. So I am a second degree connection to you. But if somebody is not even connected to Daniel and not even connected to not connected to Daniel, so for me that's a third degree connection. These are the 3 people. So the more you increase your first degree connection, the more your second degree is going to increase, and more your third degree is going to reduce, right? So it's like a funnel. You need to keep reducing the third degree connections and put them into second, because chances of getting accepted by second degree connection is much higher. We are connected to like 20 mutual people. He must be a legit person. This must be an actual profile that can help me. Along with all the profile optimizations, making you look professional and all, it goes a long way.
Okay, I think this is a great tip, guys. I also started like this. I invited a bunch of people that I knew, started getting those connections. And then again, when you have this, first profile optimized and kind of connections, it will be easier to start from there. Again, you can try to engage with people. You can research all those kind of hashtags and see the stuff and start engaging, sending connections. By the way, if you're sending a connection to someone, always personalize it. Okay, I think it will serve you best, because people get a lot of connections, and those big players, are not as, easy to accept as the new guys. I mean, they have so many connections. So unless you personalize it and make it again relevant for them, introduce who you are, why you send the connection and stuff. And you don't need to sell anything. You just need, okay, I saw your post. I think it's very cool. I'm also in the e-com world. So yeah,
Exactly.
personalizing the message will also come in very handy. And yeah, and okay, that's great. I think we can go back to question, maybe answer one or two and stop it. We're already an hour in the air. So
Yeah.
I see someone. I see someone. I think we did not yet address. So, what is your best strategy to create your personal branding on LinkedIn apart from creating a strong and daily content?
That's a good one.
Mm,
That's an actual good one. Uh,
okay.
so
What do you
yeah,
say?
so content plays a very important part in personal branding. That's for sure. But one excellent hack, and it's actually a hack which I used to grow my profile initially when I was getting just as many views as you are, like 500, 600. So I went to a networking event, right? And there I met lots and lots of entrepreneurs, and there were people who have blue ticks on their Instagram. When I met those entrepreneurs, I just took a picture with them, I tagged them, and I posted it on LinkedIn. It was not even a piece of content. I said that I met Ankur Wareko. Ankur Wareko is a huge entrepreneur here in Delhi, and I said, I met this guy and it was awesome. He gave this nice speech. He liked it. And that was my first content which reached 8,000 views for the first time. I was like, shit, that's a high reach. It was 1 month in. It was in May only. Like, I started in May last year. So it was in the month of May only. And I was like, this is a great hack. Then I observed another thing. There's a girl on LinkedIn who I actually follow. Her name is Shreya Pattar. And she is a content writer. And this is how she growth hacked her LinkedIn. She was in a meeting, and Jeff Wiener, who is the CEO of LinkedIn, was there. She took a picture with Jeff Wiener and she posted it. And that was the first piece of content, maybe not the first, but that piece of content that got me looped in her story, right? So whatever activity you are doing, your objective on LinkedIn is not to post too much content. Your objective is to look super active. Like, people love doing business with other people who are active. You won't go to a shop which looks dead, right? So if you have that kind of social proof, yeah, I like going out to networking events, and these are the pictures of famous people on LinkedIn, like 10 to 15 famous people I know on LinkedIn. This is me with them, right? It's just a growth hack. You're not putting any content. You are not putting your head to it. You're meeting people, posting a picture, tagging them, putting it out there. People have used this to growth hack their Instagram with celebrities. You can do the same with entrepreneurs on LinkedIn. I
Well,
think
I
that
think
answers.
I think it's a great hack. I've been using it without even knowing it. I mean, guys, when I tagged Faisal in LinkedIn, yeah, this is the post that got a couple hundreds views, and usually I don't get there. I mean, I get 150, 200, but this post did at least twice as much. So yeah, it was tagging again a figure. It's like borrowing authority. It's like tagging someone who is already crushing it, and him
Yeah.
responding, replying, then it gets to more people that he's familiar with, he's connected with, and it just boosts your post. So if you can do it again ethically, don't just tag people you don't know and has nothing to do with your post, but as long as it's genuine, it can really help you boost your post. And I'll start doing this way more. Expect more tags. What if okay, here's a question. What if someone wants to start and just have basic knowledge or something specific domains and don't have clients to learn and the things practical? I mean, I guess that the question is about if you don't have like social proof to show.
I understand. So my answer to that, like a little bit about my journey. I started with zero knowledge on Facebook ads and everything. I did a course which I could not complete, which because the course was shitty, I was bored and all. So when I moved to Delhi, I started working in an agency. My mentor was the founder of this agency, and he hard railed me into Facebook ads. He taught me everything for just 2 months, not a long period, for 2 months. And around that time, I was starting posting content on LinkedIn about my learnings and how I'm learning this and that. That was the initial part of my journey. But the thing here is, start building relationships. If you are not able to put out content on LinkedIn, start building relationships. Relationships, as in you can send an audio message to people on LinkedIn, right? An audio message is something people will listen to. you know that they are going to listen to it, at least if they get it on LinkedIn, right? So if you build a relation, if you start building that kind of a relation, that this is what I do, this is what I am interested in, can you just spare 10 minutes to talk to me? If somebody can give you a free internship, if somebody can give you some kind of paid work on the side where you can learn, build case studies of your own. My initial case studies were not mine, but of another agency. But because I worked on those accounts, that was another growth hack for my career. I worked in another agency just to get those case studies that, yeah, I know Facebook ads. When you're working with another agency on their account, you can simply just, this is what I've worked with, be very, very discreet about it. Just hide the client's name and everything. This is the practical advice, but you gotta hustle. So yeah, if you have zero knowledge, start by getting knowledge and getting to know people in that industry, building a relationship with them, start working with them, maybe collaborating on a lower level free, whatever works for you. I am not a free guy, so I don't do it for free. But if that works for you, if that helps you get traction, cool. And then keep on telling the world about your learnings, what you are learning, what you are doing. That is going to get you traction. That's how I started.
Okay, that's amazing. I want to say two things. First of all, I think that this is a brilliant idea. Again, if you have nothing to talk about, you can actually take case studies that exist or business successes and stories that exist and like give your own opinion on it. Share your thoughts, share your insights. I think it's an amazing idea. So now you have zero excuses. Okay, now you can actually use what is already up there. So this is amazing. I for example, did a post like yesterday. It didn't get much engagement, but it was very spontaneous. It was about how a guy with like 3,000 subscribers on YouTube with a single video went extremely viral by doing a tutorial on Zoom, something that was in the last month very searched for.
I saw it.
It was amazing. I mean, he grew 6,000 subscribers with one video. This one video got to 750,000 people when his second highest watch is like 7K. It was an incredible story. So I just borrowed his story and gave my insights on it. And second thing is, I see people never start because they think that they don't have enough knowledge. So again, you need to remember that sometimes your success stories, even though they seem small to you, they are incredibly big for others. So you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to have it, all figured out. You just need to be one more step than the people that are seeing your stuff. Okay. So if, for example, I don't know, you sold your first product online in e-com, okay, you might have only earned $5, but again, this can be an extremely inspirational story for someone who has been, I don't know, 3 months now without a single sale and starting to believe that it won't going to work. It's not going to work. So even the most, tiny stories can benefit and can be very inspiring to other people. And you need to realize that again, okay? Small wins can also have a great impact. And I think that we've addressed everything. There's just, this guy thanking us. I can see you on Facebook, but not on, you need to actually press a link for us to, be able to see our image in the live. But thank you guys so much. I think it was an incredible live. Faisal, again, thank you too. And guys, if you're now watching the replay, again, let us know, do a hashtag replay. If you're watching it on another platform, be sure to also check the group out. Okay, I'll put a link down below so you can enjoy the live stuff and not having to watch only the replays. Again, Faisal, it was such an incredible interview. Thank you so much. I think that you shared a lot of helpful tips. Before we finish, I'd like to just give you 1 minute to share how can people find you.
Well, if you want to find me on LinkedIn, just write Faisal Zia Anwer, Anwer. My name is right there. I'll be the first one that pops up. Or connect with me on Instagram, fas.anwer. FAIS.ANWER. Hit me up if you have any kind of queries. If you just want to say hi, I would love to jump in and give me a follow. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would recommend that. Especially, I see so many people in the e-com space. So I think you can learn a lot from just, watching what Faisal is doing on LinkedIn. Don't hack and copy paste him. Okay, I'm not recommending that, but you can learn a lot from, again, people who are already doing a good job, skipping the whole learning phase and seeing what already works. Okay, it can save you a lot of time. Okay. Again, guys, thank you so much. It was a long interview, but I think so much was shared here. So again, thank you so much, man. The replay will go again right in a moment. It will take a couple minutes, but it will be up. Again, subscribe to our to my channel if you're watching it on YouTube. Give us a like. Let us know what you think. If you have any questions that we did not address, this is an important one. I don't know. I skipped it. I did not see it. You weren't able to attend the live because it was too late or stuff. Just leave your comment down below, and either me or maybe even Faisal will be able to address it later on. Okay. So goodbye, guys, and have a great day or night. I don't know. And yeah.